South Africa. Lovely to be back on your TV screens. Welcome to Afternoon Express on this public holiday. I'm Bonang Mateba.
And I'm Jeannie Maboneng D.
Jay Dizzle, baby! Happy Women's Day to every single mother, daughter, aunt, grandmother that's watching the show. Hopefully yesterday was good for you. You were celebrated in all your queenliness. And hopefully you're enjoying your day off. It's another hour of nothing but the best right here live on SABC3. So make sure you call us, you tweet us. We do love hearing from you. And like today, we are celebrating phenomenal South African women.
Exactly. We are celebrating the most independent woman in South Africa. And we're starting off with the voice of the nation. She is an absolute goddess. Vicky Samson is right here in our loft, and she's going to be doing a very special Women's Day performance a little bit later for you today. Also, you must remember, we are live. So if you want to chat to us or any of our guests, feel free to call us on 082 913 3728 or start a conversation online. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express. And yeah, Facebook us as well.
Absolutely. We do love hearing from you. Get calling, get tweeting, get Instagramming, do what you need to do. Of course, it's not just myself and Jay Dizzle in the hizzle. We've got Gone Bizzle up in the K-shizzle.
Oh, you are such a rapper, B. Well, welcome to our fabulous kitchen. And in the kitchen, we have phenomenal women, okay? Beginning with Mrs. South Africa 2015, Sarah Kate Scott. Welcome.
Thank you.
And of course, media personality and businesswoman Carol Bouwer. Welcome.
Thank you for having
It's
me.
such an honor to have you here. We can't wait to chat to you later.
Will you teach us a few raps?
Yes, I will. Gone Bizzle at your service. And of course, another amazing woman, our favorite chef and food stylist, Claire Winstanley. You look
Hello.
absolutely gorgeous in this.
Oh, thanks, man. A little bit of colour for a Monday.
Yeah, happy Women's Day, ladies.
Thank you. To you.
Awesome. Yay. What are we making today?
So something fresh, simple, and light for a Monday. A Vietnamese-inspired noodle bowl. So a whole bunch of good, yummy ingredients all in one.
Awesome. Is it spicy?
No.
No.
It's all up to you how much spice you want to put in it.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll start cooking in a bit. But for now, let's head over to Bonang on the couch.
Thank you so much, darling. Now, our very first guest right here in the loft. So excited to have her. Vicky Sampson is a South African diva that needs little introduction. Says achieved fame on both the local and international level and has won countless awards over the years. Known as the voice of the nation. Born and raised in District 6, she's still going strong after decades in the music business. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor as we celebrate phenomenal South African women today. Vicky, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you, and thank you, and welcome to you.
Thank
to
you.
This beautiful day.
Thank you so much. You know what, Vicky? I think the first thing that I have to ask you, a lot of us haven't seen you in a while, so where have you been? What have you been doing?
Well, you know, I find that quite amazing that people somehow assume because they don't see you in the limelight as often as they do, or as they would have at a certain time of your life, that you've just gone away and died or something.
Yeah.
I moved back to Cape Town, back to my hometown in 2009. And since I've been home, I've been working with many other artists, collaborating with them and working on some philanthropic things which are very close to my heart. And also considering what the future holds for me, because I'm looking at recording some new stuff and working on a show, on something very, very special for next year. So it's been a time, and I've just been loving being home and being close to family and friends whom I haven't been able to connect with so closely when I was still up in Gauteng. Yeah.
Let's talk about, you know, your philanthropic work and you being back in Cape Town, like you said. I mean, you've got such a passion for charity. I mean, your management team was making a joke the other day, like, we need to rein her in or else she wants to do every single charity event in South Africa. But your passion, working with people, abused people, specifically in Cape Town. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, actually, Bonang, for years, I was actually part of raising funds for the Red Cross Children's Hospital as well over the years. And since I've been home, I found myself getting more and more closer to the communities because that's where my heart has been, to go out there and uplift our people as such, through my music, through my story, through my experiences. And I've been closely working with the St. Anne's Home for Women and Abused Children. And then I've also done some work with the Zonnebloem cottages for abandoned children, HIV-positive children, because my aunt and uncle were day and house mother for them for like 2 years.
Lovely.
So, and then last year I got involved with the Wildlife Foundation, which was specifically targeted towards lions and the preservation of our lions, because it's something that's I can't bear seeing. I mean, I was watching television last night again, and
What's
the
the song
horrific
that
thing about the canned lion story, you know. And as a person with a voice and a platform, I think it's important that we as artists, as people with that platform, go out and raise awareness about such issues, because that's the only way things are going to change.
Talking about the voice, you have been deemed the voice of the nation. And I mean, My African Dream is a song that I grew up hearing and listening to and absolutely loving. And growing up, I've really looked up to you, and it's such a big moment for me sitting down and having to interview you. And the one thing I remember saying, if I had the opportunity to speak to Vicky Sampson, I would ask her how it would have felt to be you know, in South Africa during that time when African Dream came out. It was about 1993, 94?
95.
95.
Officially released, yes.
And you know, you were the voice that carried so much and represented so much for such a brand new country. How did it feel?
Well, I think my first really awesome experience was in '96, when I firstly, not long after I won the SAMA Awards for the album and everything, I was asked to come and perform at the first African Cup of Nations,
Yes.
which we won. So I was like,
Yes.
yes! And I was there at the opening and closing, both at the opening and closing ceremonies, and 60,000 plus people at each event. And it was it was just awesome walking out and hearing the roar of the crowd, because this was post our brand new democracy. And everybody was excited about Madiba being with us at last. And I was just so proud that I had the privilege to be representing our fantastic country with such a song, which even then in those years, I had no idea was going to have the lifespan that it has. African Dream actually
Absolutely.
celebrates 20 years itself this year. So it's a song that has just continued to bless my life and continues to do so. And it's my heart for the nation. Thank you.
That is incredible. So do you feel any pressure, obviously a little bit of pressure as a musician, to live up to the African Dream and to produce music of that stature, of that level of success?
Well, I think that's something that's easy for me, because, you know, the African Dream, I'm still living the African Dream myself. I'm experiencing so many things culturally and socially, how that song has actually awoken me as a person, as a woman, and to the needs of our nation and the needs of this country and this continent. Because I could have left all those years ago to live abroad, but this is my home, and I believe in this country, I believe in it. And therefore the African Dream for me is something I will always aspire to sing wherever I can. And yes, it is a little daunting to think about a new song, but there is something in the pipeline.
Let's talk about that something in the pipeline. I'm so excited about it. That's part of the reason why you're here. What is next for Vicky? I know you have a brand new single that is coming out. Tell me about it.
Well, firstly, next month I will be performing at Super Spell alongside Zolani from Freshly Ground, Mango Groove, all people I haven't seen in years and haven't had the opportunity to work with in so long. So that's a big event for me. It's a really biggie. It's at F&B Stadium on the 19th of September. And then I am about to release One Tribe. It's called One Tribe Under Heaven, because it was just a natural follow-up to the African Dream. It's the same songwriter, the man who gave us the African Dream, Mr. Alan Lazar, very generously gave me the song about 4 years ago, 5 years, 6 years ago, and it's just never had a time, but I believe that this is the time for One Tribe. So I'm looking forward to giving it to the nation soon.
I can't wait. And specifically because African Dream is celebrating 20 years. That is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
But you still are going to be in the loft for a couple of more minutes. I want to ask you a little bit. Obviously, we are celebrating Women's Day, and you are a mother, you're a performer, you're a businesswoman, and what it means to be a woman in 2015 for you. But think about that, and I'm going to ask you to answer that a little bit later. If you have any questions for Vicky, you're more than welcome to tweet us right now at Afternoon Chat. Use our official hashtag, Afternoon Express. But just a reminder to go out and get your 50 Rand of SA's #1 foundation just by purchasing Revlon Color Stay Foundation, now at any leading retail and pharmacy stores nationwide. Take a selfie with the product, and you and your +1, your bestie or your lover, could win a 24 hours experience in my life. Hang out here on set, enjoying the city life by dining at one of my favorite restaurants, staying in my favorite hotel, and of course turning love on. Whether you are in love or looking for love, just take a pic of you and your Revlon Color Stay Foundation and tweet us right now. Use our hashtags Foundation Fridays, hashtag Love Is On, or post it on our Facebook page. Don't forget the hashtags, all right? Foundation Fridays and Love Is On. So get tweeting just like these viewers have already. This prize is valued at 25,000 Rands and includes an all expenses paid trip to Cape Town for 2, dinner at an A-list restaurant, plus a 10,000 6,000 Rand shopping spree, right? Now that's a prize you definitely don't want to miss. But we'll be back with more fabulosity, celebrating fabulous women right here on Afternoon Express after the break. Don't move.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express here on SABC3. So we're back in the kitchen. And if you're cooking along with us, please go to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, for the full recipe and shopping list, or for some ideas. Yeah. Okay, so what's our first step?
Okay, so you're standing over here looking very excited and keen to get going.
I am.
Yes,
I am.
indeed. Okay,
Can't
so
wait. It's Women's Day and I'm doing all the work.
Yeah, well, this is a fun, simple one. So it's nothing too much in terms of work.
Yeah.
And you can even get someone else at home to make it for you if you want. Okay, so Vietnamese noodle bowl, Vietnamese inspired. So something, like I said, simple with a whole lot of fresh ingredients. We're just going to put it all together in a bowl and then just eat it. It's just something light for a Monday.
Yes, okay.
First things first, I'm going to start with these guys. Beautiful snook fish cakes, a good traditional Cape
snook,
Malay
okay.
favorite. Those go
yummy.
into the oven. So
Okay.
I'll pop that onto a tray. I'm going to ask you just to take some of the lettuce, just going to cut it in half and roughly chop it.
Okay.
Thinly slice it, roughly chop it, whatever you'd like to do. That's going to go into our noodle bowl.
Right. Do we need a specific type of lettuce that works best, or can it be any type?
Anything, honestly.
Anything.
It's effectively a cold noodle salad, if you want to look at it that way.
Cold noodle
and that, whatever salad, whatever leaves sort of tickle your fancy, that's
fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so simply on a tray like that, then that goes into the oven at about 180 for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
And then this is the cool part. This is like my little twist.
Yes.
So we've got these little wonton wrappers. So typically, you know when you make like a dumpling, you take
Yeah.
this and then you fold it up.
Not typically, but yeah.
Okay, well, not typically. Let's say typically if you're in
If you're a chef and a food stylist and you're typically
making dumplings.
making
yes.
dumplings.
You kind of
Okay.
roll these little guys up like this, and then that gets steamed into a little basket. So that's
Oh, yes, yes. Of
just so
course,
kind of,
I've seen those.
just so to familiarize yourself with that. But what
Okay.
we're going to do today is just cut a circle out of it using a cookie cutter, just like that. There's one.
And where do you get those little pastries?
Asian supermarkets.
Okay, cool.
You can find them and where. And you know what the cool thing as well is that you don't have to use this if you can't find it.
You can just use normal pastry and cut
You
it
can
up
use like
into
a phyllo
squares.
pastry.
Okay.
Just phyllo pastry. Cut it in squares, circles, whatever you have. And
Okay.
then a little bit of sweet chili sauce, or a lot. That was a bit too much. Squeeze that onto there, and then just brush it around. This is really just flavoring these wonton wrappers or your phyllo pastry, because as they stand, they're really not so flavorful. They really are a vessel for something inside, on top, and something
In
delicious.
between,
In
blah, blah, blah.
between.
Okay.
And then just sprinkle it with, oh, that's gonna fall off, some sesame seeds.
Are these
You
thin
can-
enough for you?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
It's looking very good. And then we've also got some chilies chopped up over there, and then a whole bunch of fresh ingredients which we're gonna add to this
Yummy.
later.
Everything smells so amazing.
Just pat this down a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything uniform. And then onto a baking tray. That goes into
Oh,
the
just
oven
like
the same
that.
time as your snook fish cakes. And once these, probably about 10 to 15 minutes, these guys about 15 to 20 minutes, and you're just looking for a crisp. It's really a chip that you're going to eat with your noodle bowl.
right.
So when it starts to get a little bit golden, crispy, take it out and just let it cool. And that's that.
Awesome. And remember, all the info you need is on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. Let's join Jeannie with another amazing woman on the couch.
Thanks, Bonnie. Now, she was crowned Mrs. South Africa 2015, is currently working with many charity organizations on helping children with cancer, and has her own campaign designed to help women in abusive relationships. She embodies everything that Women's Month celebrates. Joining us on the couch is Sarah Kate Scott. Welcome to our live. Firstly, you are looking incredible.
Thank you.
This Tuesday, you are about to embark on an incredible journey for Mrs. Universe 2015. Tell me everything.
I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. I had the privilege and the honor of going to Mrs. World last year in America, and I was first runner up there. So with that knowledge and that experience, I'm now going for the title at Mrs.
You're
Universe.
ready for Mrs. Universe?
Yes.
Okay, what is it? I mean, okay, so at the moment you're Mrs. South Africa.
Yes.
And what does it take to be Mrs. Universe? I mean, what is going to change in your life when you get that title? Because that is Mrs. You, that's
It's
basically making
big.
you Superwoman.
Well, obviously, I want to meet Donald Trump.
No, you don't.
For me, it's the exact same reason why I entered Mrs. South Africa. I want to shine a light on the charity work I do and just to have the opportunity to have a bigger voice and a bigger platform to share my passions. So I'm very excited about the title.
And you are looking magnificent.
Thank you.
I mean, when
I've
you walked in
started.
your little figure, I was such good shape.
I have been exercising, so weightlifting my almost 2-year-old.
Tell me something. Actually, a lot of people actually say, a lot of women say, that their bodies actually got better after children than what they were before. Was that the case with you?
Yes, because if you can try and imagine saying no to a 2-year-old who's about to throw like an absolute temper tantrum on the floor, if you don't pick them up and they're packing 15 kilograms, I mean, I often do like a little bit of a, you know.
Yeah, make do. Make hay while the sun shines. Little kitty. You should actually release a little DVD about keeping in fit, but using your kid as the weight.
Yes, as long as they don't wiggle too much.
Now, let's go all the way back to the beginning. I mean, you were this young, beautiful girl, and you found love with a controversial shock jock, Darren Scott. How did the two of you meet?
We actually met, I was Miss Sharks. And we met at his radio station where he was at the time. So I always say to people, you know, don't knock a pageant. You may meet your spouse. So good things come out of tiaras and sashes sometimes.
Absolutely. But what I've always appreciated about you and what I've always seen, this beauty behind you, is you were a pageant girl and everybody always saw you smiling. And then you had this perfect life to this, you know, famous guy. And then your little boy of 18 months was then diagnosed with cancer.
That's right, yes.
I can't even tell you how well, just from an outside looking in, at how well you took that in your stride. But how was that for you? I mean, nobody expects that. That is a mother's worst nightmare.
It really
what
is.
was that like for you?
It's any parent's nightmare to hear that your child's sick. You know, even something like a snotty nose or flu. It's heartbreaking for a parent. So to stand on the outside looking in and now have to trust the doctors with all their knowledge and just, you know, hand your kid over and just hope for the best that they're going to save your child's life. Darren is a cancer survivor, multiple cancer survivor, and he was just so incredibly strong. And we were given an incredible statistic at the beginning of Mark's treatment. And that's how I became the patron of Cupcakes to Kids with Cancer, because I really, truly understood what it's like to have to give up your job, give up your career, to be with your child, to be vomited on. We lived in the hospital for about a year, in and out with all the treatments, with the surgeries. And I have so much respect and honor and admiration for people, you know, like the night staff, you know, in the ICU units with the babies and the neonatal, you know, just to now have that time and that compassion and that understanding to now use my platform and leverage that and go and thank those people that work and sometimes have thankless jobs. So, you know, visiting the kids in the hospitals, giving them a hug, giving the parents a hug. And most importantly for me, praying over them. That's very special for me to do that.
How is your son now?
Oh my gosh.
Shame.
He's fine.
Oh, that's lovely
He's a cheeky little bugger. He is just so gorgeous. He has my husband's temperament, very determined in life.
Say no more. Okay, but his health is all fine.
He's so healthy, he's so wonderful. He goes to school, he has friends. We're allowed to go out in public now. So we're very blessed and we don't take anything for granted.
Of course. And then you had another baby.
Yes.
Okay, little boy, another little boy.
Another little boy. That was a surprise pregnancy. I didn't think I was a virgin.
Not oops.
I didn't think I was the Virgin Mary, but I did. He wasn't planned, and he's just ended up being really just the, you know, just the little person, the little soul that just finalized our entire family. He's so happy and so wonderful. And much to my dismay, I think he will play for the Springboks. He is huge. My husband's big bone. This child is only 2 centimeters shorter than his brother, who's 3 years older than him.
Oh, wow.
He's massive, and he really almost does these rugby tackle type things. He's always got like blue eyes or scratches, or he's just adorable.
So now you are the rose amongst all of these boys. They
I
must
love
be
it. I'm
so
their queen.
tremendously
Yes,
proud of you.
I love it. I have a huge portrait in my lounge. It just seems so normal to be the queen of the house. I love it.
And they must adore you so much and be so proud of you.
I'm very, very blessed to have my boys.
So, I mean, what does it take for them to be as supportive of you now, venturing into being literally Mrs. Superwoman / universe?
I think what I'm trying to do is show my children that, you know, women can do and be it all. And that we're just so blessed to live in a day and age where we are, you know, CEOs of massive companies, you know. Yes, it's still a male environment and we do still have those challenges, but it's so minimal,
just do it,
you know.
exactly.
And if you flick your hair and have a little bit of a flirt or a smile, it's amazing what a woman can do.
And you are doing so much. You know, today we're celebrating Women's Day, and you do so much for women. You work for an orphanage for girls.
Yes.
And then, of course, doing so much for other women's homes. Take me through some of your projects that you're doing philanthropically wise, if that's a word.
We'll just let that one slide if it is or it isn't. We'll Google later. Yeah. Apart from being the patron of Cupcakes for Kids with Cancer, I've just felt like I wanted to lend my voice and who I am this year to anybody that's basically called upon me. So I had the privilege of celebrating Nelson Mandela Day. These beautiful little girls that have got horrendous stories behind them, and just going and loving them and going and thanking all of those workers for the work that they do, the social workers. It really is for me trying to get to the different parts of this country. I drove to Gariep Dam on the way down to Cape Town last week. And I had this whole school sing to me on my birthday last week, and I was in a flood of tears. And the principal said, you know, Mrs. South Africa out of the entire country chose this school. Yeah. And it's almost for me trying to find the little spots where maybe I can touch lives, where maybe someone like me maybe wouldn't necessarily go. But the thing I'm most proud of at the moment is I've actually done a YouTube video on anti-abuse, especially during Women's Month now, just to highlight the fact that it's unacceptable. There are no excuses for physical or emotional abuse, and I'm really proud of my video and the response that it's getting. And
where can people go to find it?
On my Twitter handle, which is Mrs. SA Official, on my Facebook page, which is Mrs. South Africa, Instagram, also Mrs. South Africa. You can scroll for days.
Awesome.
There'll be a selfie of us on Instagram just now.
Yes, and I cannot wait for you to win Mrs. Universe, because you're absolutely going to.
I'll lend you the tiara for an evening.
Thank you. Yes. After the break, we continue our celebration of South African women. So give us a call now on 083 913 3728 to join the conversation. And a reminder to enter our Go Green SMS competition. You have until midnight tonight to answer last week's question. All the details are available on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. We'll be right back.
The Afternoon Express team is going green. Join us every Tuesday at 4 p.m. until September as we bring you the most innovative trends in sustainable fashion, food, decor and design, as well as handy tips to help you reduce your carbon footprint.
Answer our Go Green question every Tuesday and stand a chance to win a R1,000 Woolies gift card every week.
Plus, simply by entering, you also go into the big draw for the ultimate grand prize worth over R500,000.
Including a dream sustainable kitchen makeover from Cordev, fitted with Bosch appliances with R300,000. Also, up to R250,000 worth of home upgrades so you can live off the grid. Plus, food and homeware from Woolworths valued at R75,000. And a R25,000 towards a school of your choice with My School.
So, go big, go green with Afternoon Express every Tuesday at 4 p.m. to win these amazing prizes.
Willis and I collaborating to raise R100 million through the My School program. Are you with us?
Welcome back to Afternoon Express here on SABC3. Remember, if you're cooking along with us, go to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, to find the full recipe and shopping list. Okay, so now we're near the final touches of our little
Vietnamese style noodle bowl.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so our
Awesome.
snook fish cakes are still in the oven, so those are slowly cooking through.
Okay.
But our crisps are beautiful
They
and
came out
golden.
so beautifully. Look at them.
So the sweet chili is obviously still going to remain a little bit sticky on top, but crisp, golden, and delicious.
Yummy.
What we've got here is just some noodles, which we've literally just blanched, which means to just slowly cook it in a little bit of hot water, boiling water, not for
too long.
2 minutes probably.
2 minutes,
Just
okay.
until they're soft. So you can really just feel it out.
2 minutes goes with noodles.
So lots of noodles go in there.
All right.
That's probably about enough there. And then really what we're gonna do is just assemble. So this recipe is it's just really a chopping game. It's just about chopping.
Yeah.
So get everyone involved.
It's quite DIY, right?
Yeah.
So everyone, it's quite interactive.
Yeah, like we said, lots of ingredients. Just need chopping and cutting and grating and whatnot, but nothing too hectic besides putting those in the oven.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so clean hands, just get some of the lettuce in there. Do you want to grab some of the carrots? Pop that on there.
My
So you
hands
can
are
see
clean
it's all
too.
Beautiful, fresh.
Where do I pop them? Just
Anyway,
next
we're
to
just going to
it.
make little pockets. You kind of like pick and choose at the table what you
We're
want.
making a little wheel of veggies.
You can if you want to like really mix it all up for everyone, pour some sauce on, get the fish cakes going. But you know, this kind of looks pretty.
Oh, the colours are pretty, yeah.
A little bit of just thinly shaved cucumber that
Okay.
you just take a peeler, quite simply, with the cucumber, peel and then slice.
Yes,
And that's it. You
okay.
get those nice thin ribbons. They look fantastic and they're a great way to kind of, with your chopsticks, eat it all up together.
Yummy.
Okay,
And have we
what's
done the
next?
same with these spring onions?
Those are spring onions. Those you can just pop on over there.
plonk them
I'm
there as
leaving a
well.
nice little space there for our fish cakes, which we're going to take out later.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna cross
Okay,
over
so
there.
we'll shove these noodles aside a little bit.
Fresh mint goes fabulously with all Asian cuisine.
Everything, okay,
Yes. Then a little bit of coriander. Some people love this, some people hate it. I'm
I
on
love
the
it, I love it.
fence.
You can never have enough of it.
We'll just put it on the side so that you
Okay,
don't have
yeah.
to eat it if you don't want to.
If you don't want to.
And then a little bit more mint. And then some of these are going to just kind of sprinkle all
So
over the top. Some
basically,
toasted.
when our fish cakes are ready, we plonk them on our little,
No, what we're actually going to do, we're just going to pile the fish cakes up here, which we'll see later.
Yeah.
Pile those up there. These kind of just get added onto the mix here.
oh.
And you just
And
kind
then
of
it's
pick
just
and
like
choose.
pick and choose what you want.
It's honestly a fresh salad. Think of it as a fresh salad.
Okay.
Fresh salad
just
with
simplified it.
noodles.
Perfect.
And then a delicious lemongrass dressing, which we
let
can
me smell
pour
that.
all
I love
over.
lemongrass.
I'm going to wait for our fish cakes,
Okay.
the hero of the dish, and we're just going to pour all of those over with a little bit of chili and lime, and that's it.
Okay, wonderful. We're done. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Well, we finished all that up. Bonang's on the couch with another very inspirational woman.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. Do remember, if you want the recipe and, of course, the methods of how to make that delicious recipe that we're making today in the loft, log on to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. But in case you just tuned in, today in the loft, we are celebrating phenomenal South African women, and we are live on SABC3. Get calling, get tweeting, do what you need to do. It's such an honor to be sitting with this woman in the loft right now. She's I've looked up to her since I think I was 16. But anyway, from humble beginnings in Soweto, she's built an illustrious career both in front of the camera and behind the scenes. Joining us on the couch is renowned TV presenter and businesswoman Carol Bouwer. I feel I have to say Aunt Carol. How are you?
At the rate I'm going, you should say that.
I feel, well, you know, off TV, that's how I address you. So it's kind
bless
of
you.
very
Bless you.
weird. But I mean, happy Women's Day.
Thank you,
We are
darling.
celebrating phenomenal women. Thank you so much for being with us today. But, you know, you have created such a inspirational career, and one of the things I love about you is, of course, Carol Bouwer Productions, and you've been behind so many successful TV shows. But you were quoted the other day in saying that we need to be in constant conversation with women. So, you know, my question is then, what are the key topics and issues that you tackle in the shows that you produce?
Bonang, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. It is an honor to be in your gorgeous, gorgeous loft with all these phenomenal
you.
women that you have. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I always believe that the work of women is never done. I always believe that, you know, as the world evolves, as the world begins to prepare to receive women who want to be recognized, who feel that they can contribute to the dialogue and they can really, really do a lot of good work to advance the cause of women. You know, we need to be working harder to ensure that our messages are on point. We need to be working harder to ensure that as we move forward, we're taking others with us. So for me, when I say why should we be in constant dialogue, it is in order to ensure that we never drop the message. We're always clear about where we want to see women go, what kind of women do we want representing South Africa going forward. And I'm just excited to be working in this space, from Motswako to Mbogoto, you name it. I love the fact that I work in the women's space.
Let's talk about the Mbogoto Awards. I mean, you created and founded them in 2011 and 2012, and they've grown from strength to strength. But what was the reasoning behind, you know, an award ceremony like that? And for anybody that doesn't know, what are the awards all about?
The Mbogoto Awards are about recognizing the work that women do in the arts space. I mean, the heritage sector is a great economic driver. And when acknowledgements begin to be given, it is always to men. You know, when the country seeks to see who to take forward, whether to represent us internationally, whether to recognize these people at the highest level, it is always men. So I felt that we needed to ensure that the country recognizes that women were part of building this great democracy that we enjoy, that we wish to protect. And women continue to be part of that work. You know, it is not about Mama Miriam having stood at the UN and you know, where she spoke so eloquently about what needed to happen to transform our society and attain democracy. It is also about the fact that as you sit here as Bonang hosting Women on Women's Day, people need to recognize the importance of this work. It all looks glamorous and beautiful, but you're driving, you know, messages that can help build the economy, because the heritage sector, as you know, contributes a great deal to GDP.
I mean, and looking into, you know, 2015, the Bogota was, because we're obviously counting down to that. What is the process in choosing nominees, and when exactly is award ceremony going to take place this year?
It is. If I look exhausted, it is because I am. It is laborious. It can't start. First of all, the Bogota Awards are on the 4th of September, which is a minute away.
Yes.
And the work can't start the month before. The work is done over a period of a year where we have to, together with our adjudication panel and our scouts, go and watch the place. Go and enjoy the art. I'm so drawn to his eyes.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, very daunting as well.
Beautiful,
Sort of like
absolutely
cutting.
gorgeous.
Yes.
That's me when I see art. Ensure that, you know, by the time we announce who our nominees are, the country and the world can rubber stamp our choices, because they've seen the great work that has been done. And there's such an amazing body of work this year. I'm excited to be hosting the 4th installment of the awards. And I can't share too much in terms of the people that are being honored, but I'll give you the 2 icons that we're looking at that we believe may be honored on the night. So these are the categories where you don't announce 3 nominees and then decide who wins. These are the categories where we kind of go in there knowing that these women are
the
phenomenal.
queens, yes.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say Marion Fessler.
Love her. South African designer, world-renowned, absolutely
She is
fantastic.
an icon, and I think for me, she's not somebody that just epitomizes the great work that is being done in the fashion sector, but she's an arts icon. You know, she's an icon that whether you are a painter or a sculptor, you can look at her in terms of how her career has evolved over the years and what she's done to affirm women as well as, you know, as her career has progressed. And I'm also excited to say that Mama Thandi Klassen is finally being honored at the Bogota Awards. I really think it's remiss that we haven't done it yet, but I hope we shall be forgiven now that we finally acknowledged
But
her
you
work.
are rewarding women that are doing good things. And
Yes.
you yourself in your space are doing phenomenal work. I mean, you grew up in Soweto, and you said that, you know, growing up in the township sort of has this ability to disempower and you know, an individual, a human spirit. But you're doing work right now to instill dignity back into, you know, young youth people. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, I think that the work that we do is important because it can't just be, you know, the art scene has always been very elitist, very beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, I know that my secret dream is that I never got to be a ballerina. And I'm sure it's not because I'm rather late. But I feel that young women in the townships have got to know that, you know, if this is the industry that you want to be a part of, you don't just have to be, you know, a Simunye presenter. I don't know why I'm targeting them. You don't just have to do what people have always seen, what has been traditionally available to people of our background coming from the townships. It is about ensuring that they know that the doors are open. 1994 was really important for this country because it reminded us that, you know, we can go back to those dreams that we had forsaken to say, you know, we can actually do it. You want to be an artist, you want to be the next Irma Stern,
you can
a
do
black
whatever
girl can do it
you
too.
want. Absolutely. Well, Carol, thank you so much for coming through. You still are going to be in the loft. I have so many more questions for you.
Excited
and I know
to be
everybody
here.
at home wants to ask him as well. So get tweeting, call us right now. Let us know what you want to know from this phenomenal South African woman. But after the break, we continue the conversation. So if you have any questions, call us right now. Don't move. It's SABC3.
Well, Welcome back. Today we celebrate and focus on women empowerment and how we as a nation would like to strive towards gender equality. But how realistic is this in the current South African landscape, especially in the business and community environment? And what can we as individuals do to ensure women are treated equally? Joining us is industrial psychologist and executive coach from the University of Stellenbosch Business School, Dr. Salome Peter-Coller. Welcome to the Loft, Doctor.
Thank you.
Talking about women in the workplace, what are the recurring challenges that still are a struggle for women in the workplace?
Bonnie, I think just people, professional women just want to be seen as a professional woman. They actually want to have equality in the workplace.
Yeah.
They have been appointed for a certain job and for a certain role, and they want to be just allowed to play that role. But that means we need to properly integrate them into the business and into the team. Often we forget about that, into the culture of the workplace. And often they feel excluded because they're still in the minority. And I think we can do a lot more to integrate women, professional women, better into our workplaces. From the word go. Whether we employ them or promote them, just make sure that they are seen as equal, that they actually behave towards as an equal.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, now when in the corporate world where women are being empowered and are being groomed to take on leadership roles, you find that the team that they're leading is not ready for a woman to lead them. So how do we better integrate them into those roles?
Bonnie, the teams that I work with, because I firmly believe it's not just about the individual, it's about sensitizing the team as well. When they do it really well, it's almost from when they say we need somebody else in our team. Then the whole team looks at what is the skill set, the personality, the role that we want this newcomer to play, and that they almost co-create this profile of a person they want for their team. And so that when they recruit and the person comes on board, they had a vested interest in getting this person for their team. They were aware, they were even involved. I think that can go a long way. And then proper onboarding. If a person is promoted into a new team or even into an organization, make time to onboard. And that goes for men and women, actually. Do proper onboarding. Make people feel welcome.
Right, you mentioned earlier that some of your work is about grooming and preparing women of color for leadership positions. Tell us about that work.
Oh, it's fascinating. I'm really honored to do that. Often when I coach them, they still sit with a bit of disillusionment because they were employed into a certain role, into a certain organization, and they still face a different culture, they still face a different language.
Would you say that they have a greater cultural disposition in that sense?
I'd hate to say that. I think it's rather the individual. We need
You'd hate to say that.
Yeah, I think people need to be seen as an individual.
Right, I hear you.
No matter, and to say, where's this person from? What language does she or he speak? What are their particular roles here? How can we best help them to get going? How can we integrate them into our business?
Right.
If you join a company that's predominantly Afrikaans, but you are told the business language is English, then please let the business language
Let
be
it
English.
be English, yes.
To facilitate her playing her rightful role in the organization. I just take that one example.
Right. And I mean, there's this rhetoric that's quite dominant in that world where people say for a woman to be really successful in a tough industry or in a male-dominated industry, they have to be mean. How do we dispel those kind of myths and stereotypes? And can women find that balance within themselves to still be nurturing and vulnerable but be strong at the same time?
Yeah, I would not advise them to become mean, but I would advise them to be assertive.
But we've heard this rhetoric and this talk, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would advise them to be observant and just to take in as much as they can about how are things happening in this place, what do you need to be successful, but also to stand up for themselves and be counted. To be assertive.
Right.
Again, I think that a lot can be done to sensitize teams and workplaces
Yes.
So you send a person on a fast-track training program, or you give them some special training. They come back to the workplace. They're now all excited
Yes.
about practicing this new stuff.
And they communicate more effectively.
Yes, but now people are like, so she thinks she's smart, hey?
Well, there we go. She thinks she's this, she thinks she's that, da-da-da.
So coaching often happens a person to transform their learning or to transfer their learning from the training room to the workplace.
Yes.
Because it's there where they're facing difficulty, resistance to change, complexity, uncertainty, all those things that we read about so much. And that's just so real.
Yeah, I could talk about this all day with you, but you know what? I can smell those fumes coming from the kitchen, and there's a lovely plate of food waiting for us. Jeannie and Bonang.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. Really do appreciate that. Keep those tweets coming. We are live right here on Afternoon Express on SABC3 as we continue to celebrate phenomenal women. But Vicky, earlier on I said I'm going to ask you this question about being a woman in 2015 and how it feels for you and what really it means and represents.
Well, I think, I know there was this common saying before, I don't know if it's a cliche, that if you're in your 40s, you're actually now in your 30s. And the other day I heard that if you're in your 50s now, that's the new 30s. So I don't know how true that is, because that's like, yay, no Botox, no facelifts.
I'm only 22 years old.
But I think being a woman in 2015 and having just had a landmark birthday myself, I just turned 50 a couple of days ago.
Yes.
I think it's about knowing yourself, Bonang, and I think it's taken me this long to actually get to know who I really am. What makes me tick, what makes me happy, what makes me sad, what is my purpose on this earth. It's about all these things, about finding yourself and really just being comfortable with who you are in your skin and helping other women to do the same. That's what it's about.
Do you know what I think the best part of growing up is because when you're young and you look at older women, you think, oh, one day I'm going to be old, and there's this fear around getting older and this confusion of what kind of woman you're going to be like. And it's almost settling that when you go into your 30s, you're so comfortable with who you are, you know who you are, you know what you want. And then I assume, I don't know because I'm only 22, but as you get older, you just kind of settle into that even more.
Yes, and just you think when you get to your 30s, okay, that's the first landmark. Then you get your 40s and you go, oh gosh, there's so much to learn still.
Yeah.
And now I'm like 50 and I'm going, wow, okay. I think I've kind of settled within myself and still learning something new every day, which is important,
Well, I'm just comforted by sitting next to women who are so comfortable to share their age. 22 looks better.
It's okay.
But I mean, talking about this 22-year-old, she was saying, earlier on in our makeup room that she didn't feel celebrated. Sorry, I don't know if you want me to say this on national television.
I woke up this morning and
But she
I
didn't
looked at
feel
my boyfriend and I
celebrated.
said, how exactly are you celebrating me today?
So which brings me to my next question. Sarah, Kate, and obviously Carol, how did you celebrate your Women's Day yesterday? And was anybody around you that celebrated your queenliness?
Like Jeannie was saying just now, I'm really lucky to be I know you're the queen, but I'm also the queen of my own home. I'm the queen of my own home, and I took my boys for a walk, and for me being a mother, a pretty new mother at that, I just celebrated the fact that I really honor my body for the fact that it's created life twice.
No, I've seen your body. I would honor it as
Okay, G.
So it's just with my boys, took them for a walk down to the lake, just took in the gratitude for the fact that, it was a Sunday and that's our family day, and just the role that I play in my family and the role model that I am to my two children. So it wasn't a big, fabulous celebration, but did have a glass of champagne on the way down here.
Of course you did. And for you, Carol?
Well, I think for me, I take a different view when it comes to these days. I never go out and make a noise about it, even my birthday. It's all about self-reflection. It's about sitting back and seeing the milestones that you may have set for yourself. Have you attained them? Have you moved forward? And reflecting on where women are in South Africa today.
I really do. But on social media, we asked you what makes you proud to be a South African woman. These were some of your responses. We got a tweet from Precious. From Precious. KB Chwane says, I have the power to be who I want to be without fear, being able to create the life I want for me and mine.
And then Bonnie Bird also said, what made me proud is to be free and work where I want and study what I think is right for me.
I love that. Rosetta and Tabby saying, as a product of women who stand up and fight for their rights, I'm able to fight for my education, educational work and leadership life. Amazing. Let's move on to Facebook. Anybody saying anything on Facebook? All right, so
And
there's
of course,
nothing
we
on
are
Facebook.
taking your calls, so if you want to give us a call, remember to phone us immediately on 083 913 3728.
Absolutely. Get
So-
those calls coming because our phenomenal women are still going to be here. I hear there's a performance coming up. Yes, no?
My African dream.
Okay, no, there's a
today.
Luckily, I'm not performing.
Luckily, she's not performing. If you want to see Vicky perform, make sure you stay tuned right here on ICBC3 after this.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express here on SABC3. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. The prolific Vicky Samson in the house to perform live.
Thank you, ladies.
Sometimes alone in the evening, I look outside my window at the shadows in the night. I hear the sound of distant crying, the darkness multiplying, and weary hearts tonight. All I feel is my heartbeat, beating like a drum, beating with confusion. And all I hear are the voices telling me to go, but I could never run. 'Cause then let me think of my freedom. There we go. Yeah. There's the view tomorrow. Let me hear you, ladies. My African dream is a dream that we can follow. My own chorus, that's so trial. Now when the night begins to fall, I listen for your call. I listen for your heartbeat. And all alone my dream is just a dream, another false illusion, shadowing the night. And all I want is for our hearts to be beating just as one, to silence this confusion. Then the pain and illusion will disappear again, and we will never, never, never run. 'Cause in my African dream, yeah, there's a new tomorrow. Yes, there is. My African dream is a dream that we can follow. And though it would seem my hopes an illusion, no, 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 my African dream is an end to this confusion. Ladies, now you're gonna put your hands together for me like this. Come on. Woo! Come on, South Africa. All the ladies, wherever you are right now, put your hands together like this. Come on. Hey, mama. Hey, mama.
you to all the phenomenal South African women who watched us today. Hopefully your day off was incredible. A big thank you to all our wonderful guests. And of course to Claire for putting together this fantastic meal.
Happy Women's Day!
Happy Women's Day! Thank you for watching. Mwah! Cheers. Oh, let's eat. Let's eat.
Tomorrow on Afternoon Express, in the next installment of our Go Green Sustainability series, we take a look at the pros and cons of fracking, along with some of South Africa's top experts and documentary filmmakers.
Another feel-good production.